It was the intercom system for Madovsky's house. No answer. Excuse me? Hello?
On your bike, darling. This is a private residence.
We're here to see Mr. Madovsky.
So?
We have important business with Mr. Madovsky.
And who the hell might you be?
I'm Nico Kalar, and this is my colleague, Georges Stobart.
Well, isn't that cozy? Can you count, darling?
Yes, of course.
Well then, 1, I don't know you or Laughing Boy here from Adam. 2, you ain't got no business round here. And 3, I don't like French birds. Comprenez?
He had the typical... Hi.
What do you want?
Do you work for Mr. Madovsky?
No, I'm standing here pruning his edges for a laugh. Course I bloomin' work for him. Maybe you didn't hear me the first time. Get lost.
Hi.
What are you...
I don't suppose you know Mr. Madovsky's driver, do you?
Look, will you stop asking all these blooming questions? Can't you see I'm...
Hi.
What are you...
Showing him my press card. We really need to see Mr. Madovsky.
Oh, what?
Ah, it's locked. The bush was... The gum was well chewed, and still... Ronnie wouldn't have been too pleased to hear that I was chasing after Madovsky. He had the tip... There was no point in calling Georges. I had tried the intercom. It was the intercom system. It was topiary in progress. Hi.
What do you want?
Nice bush.
Bush? This is so much more than just a bush.
Oh, I am sorry.
It's art, love. Or to be precise, topiary. And as everybody knows...
Topiary is a transition form.
That's right. A statement of man's dominance over nature. A metaphor for the human condition.
And yet...
It's not enough, is it?
Not for the big questions.
Life, death.
Right and wrong.
Tell me about it.
You struggle, monsieur?
Day and night.
That is the human condition.
Can we ever escape it?
It is possible through meditation, contemplation.
I see.
It is our only salvation.
Well, you've given me food for thought, you have.
Anytime.
Much appreciated. At a difficult time.
You are welcome, monsieur.
So, anyway, this is my latest piece. What do you think?
It's very nice. Eagle? A two-headed eagle.
Result. Get in there, my son. Yes, it's a Russian Imperial Eagle for the boss. You spotted it straight off. I owe you one, lady. You have got that rare quality. Real insight.
No, please. You have a rare talent. We have important business.
I need a good reason to bother the boss with this. He's a busy man.
I understand.
What makes what...
La Maledictio, a painting that belongs to him, has been stolen. If he wants his insurance claim processed quickly, then he'll want to speak with us. I think he might be annoyed if he finds out you never even told him we came around, right?
Okay. Hang on, I'll phone him now. Yeah, Mr. Medovsky? Yeah. French bird. Yeah. Yes, boss. Right, I will do. You've piqued the boss's interest. That isn't always a good thing. The gate should be open. I'll take you inside. Follow me, please. Mr. Medovsky will be right with you, madame.
Well, we're in. Now what?
We'll make him think we're all set to pay out on the policy. See if we can get him to talk.
Welcome.
Good day, monsieur. My name is Nico Collard, and this is my assistant, Georges Tabar.
You are here to discuss La Maledictio, yes?
Correct.
I am surprised to see you. My agreement with the gallery specified that my ownership should be kept in the strictest confidence. It would appear that agreement has been broken.
A man has been killed, monsieur.
An agreement is an agreement.
A life has been lost and a painting stolen, monsieur. We need to ask you a few questions.
Bravely put, Miss Collard. So be it. I will cooperate however I can.
Did you know Henri, the gallery owner?
Oh, purely on a professional basis. My restorer recommended his gallery to me.
Did you ever meet him personally?
No, only via email. I rarely fly. I'm carbon neutral, you know.
Very conscientious, monsieur.
Well, the planet won't save itself.
Your restorer, how does he fit into all this?
Hobbs? He did a little cleaning work on La Maledictio, that's all.
How did you come into possession of La Maledictio?
I purchased it at auction.
Do you have receipts for the painting?
Of course. I have already sent them to your office.
These things take time to process.
What is there to process? I own the painting, someone stole it, and your company provided me with insurance. I am the victim here.
A state you share with the deceased, monsieur. We have reason to believe that the theft was an inside job.
Oh, that is terrible. The staff at the gallery were so pleasant to deal with, but such is human nature. I trust this won't delay the insurance claim.
I'm sure matters will be sorted out soon. What connection do you have to Vera Security?
I've never heard of it.
There is strong evidence that ties you to Vera Security.
Oh, you are beginning to sound like a policeman, madame.
We are merely doing our jobs, monsieur. We must leave no stone unturned.
I would leave this particular stone unturned if I were you.
I'd rattled him, but I didn't want to push too hard. Of course. We will check our information again.
I would do that. I think that is enough for now. When do you expect the claim to be paid out?
It will not be long, monsieur.
When exactly? Surely you can give me a date.
Monsieur Medovsky, I'm sure you...
Please excuse the interruption, sir.
What is it, Shears?
Hobbs is here.
Tell him I'm busy.
He mentioned the portfolio, sir.
For pity's sake, can he not just follow simple instructions? Please excuse me for a moment.
The gardener's called Shears?
Yeah, probably not what his mother christened him.
What a creep.
Very clever creep at that. We got nothing on him, and he knows it.
He just brushed off the Vera connection. We need something else to get under his skin. I could use Marquez as leverage.
Yeah, it's just one man's word against another.
So what else can we do?
Let's take a look around. Maybe there's something here we can use against him.
Good idea, George. You search, I'll keep watch at the window.
I should have guessed. Keyboard was Cyrillic. I tried to remember how that row of keys read on a U.S. keyboard. I needed a better... Russian novels. Medovsky was clearly a big Tolstoy fan. It was a beautifully inlaid cigarette box. The catch had snapped. The paperclip just flexed and slipped off the catch. Sadly, the catch would have been too thick to cut with nail clippers. The wood would have been too weak. That was... Nope. They did... No, that didn't. Can you hear what they're saying?
Yes.
You should not have turned up here, Mr. Hobbs. I made it clear I would deliver the package later today.
I wanted to make sure it got to me all right. I've got a lot of work to do on it.
This is most inconvenient.
Medovsky's arguing with his visitor, Hobbs, about the portfolio.
That portfolio is important, I'm sure of it. Medovsky in Libya. What kind of guy hangs a picture of himself and Colonel Gaddafi on the...
The kind who will commit murder in order to steal.
Medovsky had left the cabinet open. On the shelf inside was a business card and a scribbled note. I picked up the business card. It read, Wilfred Hobbs, Fine Art Restoration. I made a note of the address. Then I put the card back where I'd found it. No point arousing Medovsky's suspicions. The note read, L. Serp drawings for you to check. W.H.
Now we're cooking with gas.
I wondered if the painting could be in the portfolio that Medovsky had taken. See a penny, pick it up, then all day you'll have good luck. A Russian imperial egg. It looked rather plain. It was a thank you note from a British politician. Medovsky certainly had some dubious friends. Everything was in Cyrillic, except for a number. 1869. I suspected the medals weren't from the Moscow Debating Society. Everything was in 18... It seems Armadovsky has friends in low places.
It's like my boss said, the guy wants to be a player.
Locked. I could only hope that Medovsky hid the key somewhere in the room. By extraordinary good fortune, the coin I'd picked up was the perfect shape to flip open the broken catch. Fancy that. Keys are always useful. Romanovs. The same brand of cigarettes that were in the ashtray in Vera's security. It was locked. The study door's open now. Hear anything else interesting?
Hang on.
Listen, Hobbs, just take the portfolio and do your work. You are nervous, and I don't like that.
Understood. I have got a few questions, though.
I do not like questions either. Hurry up.
I noticed a couple of people arriving. Who were they? They look like coppers.
They were from the insurance company.
Has the...
Hobbs is going to head off with the portfolio. Whatever's in there is important. We need to stay with it.
I got Hobbs' address from his card. When we're done here, we should check it out.
Okay, Josh, but hurry. Medovsky will be back soon.
I'm gonna check out the...
Okay.
Wow, there must be millions of dollars worth of art on these walls. The desk was magnificent. The chair was fancy and probably filthy habit. Those two little holes were just waiting for me to put my fingers in. I resisted the urge. The lettered panels appeared to conceal buttons. The drawer was open. My heart skipped a beat. But inside, I saw only a candy bar wrapper. These paintings would have kept a critic enraptured for hours, but I didn't have time to dwell. The painting reminded me of my Aunt Maud. Medovsky certainly loved art. Medovsky had a It was an expensive chair. It was the old coin from Medovsky's library. Now it wasn't the The chair was fancy and probably more expensive than it looked. Those two little holes were just waiting for me to put my fingers in. I resisted the urge. That was almost a great idea. I should have guessed. Keyboard was Cyrillic. I should have guessed. Keyboard was Cyrillic. A secret drawer popped open. I knew that publication date would be significant. At last, I was going to discover Medovsky's secrets. It certainly wasn't Medovsky's sock drawer. Hey, Nico! Come see this! I think we've struck gold.
Hang on, I'm coming.
Look, a letter from a guy called Gained. His company, Wolfram, want to purchase La Maledizio. They're offering way over the asking price.
Anything connecting Medovsky to Vera?
Well, let's see. Here we go. A lease for Vera's security.
Aha! Then we have the proof we need.
Hang on, what's this? Expenses for a Mr. Shears. Waterloo Motors, one helmet. These are from Paris. Madame La Trex. Hotel Britannique. Pizza. Nico. Pizza. I think your friend Shears might just be Henri's killer.
Georges, what have we got ourselves into? I just heard the front door close. Medovsky's coming. Put everything back in order, quick!
Right. He'll never suspect we just ransacked his house for evidence.
Georges, the coin!
Damn, no time. Look cool, Nico. I'll handle this.
I apologize for the lengthy wait. As you can imagine, my time is at a premium.
That's fine, Mr. Medovsky. I think we're almost finished anyway.
And payment?
Very soon, monsieur. Very soon.
Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Nice collection of medals you have there, Mr. Medovsky.
I earned them serving my country.
Anywhere interesting?
Chechnya. Ever been there?
No, can't say I've had the pleasure. Is that a first edition of War and Peace?
Of course. Printed in 1869. A great year for my country's literature. And Tolstoy is the master.
So, what brought you into the art business, Mr. Medovsky?
Oh, an eye for great artists, an appreciation of fine culture, and a love of what you Americans call the greenback.
You must be upset at the theft of La Maledizio.
Yes, and disappointed that someone would kill for such a minor piece.
Is that a picture of you with Colonel Gaddafi?
A deeply wonderful man. He was a great fan of the Impressionists.
Well, he certainly left quite an impression on Libya. So this Hobbs guy, good friend of yours, is he?
No, we simply have a business arrangement. We've been through this already. Now please, if you're quite finished, I'm a busy man.
Thank you for your time, Monsieur Medovsky. We'll be in touch soon.
Well, no prizes for guessing where we go now.
Hobbs' place, right?
Got it in one. Medovsky's pretty shady, don't you think?
He bought our act, though. You make a pretty good insurance man, Georges.
Yeah, who'd have thought it?
By the time he realizes we're not assessing his claim, we'll have cracked the case and be toasting our success.
Here's hoping. Looks like rain.
Come on, let's get that cab. Taxi!
I think we just stepped off the London tourist trail.
I guess this Hobbs character doesn't like visitors.
Not the kind of place you'd expect to find a restorer of old masters.
Unless you didn't want to attract attention.
He's attracted ours. Let's see what Mr. Hobbs knows about La Malediccio.
And let's try and get a look inside that portfolio.
The door was locked. Looking through the window, I could see that there was nothing in the van. Hobbs must have taken the portfolio inside. Slasha. I'd need the keys to start the engine. I had no reason nor any desire to steal Hobbs's van. I popped open the van's hood. Mr. Rickenbacker?
You better have some good news, Stobart.
I absolutely do.
Go on, then. Impress me.
I went to visit Medovsky, the owner of the painting, and Vera's security.
Go on.
I found some paperwork that proves Medovsky stole his own painting.
Great work. But we're gonna need more. You have to find the painting.
Now wasn't the best time to call Rickenbacker. The engine was held together by rust and dirt. Everything was covered in a sticky film of dirty black oil. Half the wiring wasn't connected to anything. It was the van's engine. I didn't really have any reason to sabotage it. A bundle of short, severed wires was connected to the battery. None of the wires were connected to anything. It was the van It was one of two horns in the van. It didn't seem to be connected to anything else under the hood. Two wires hung loose from it. A loose wire hung. That would be pointless. That wouldn't work. I fed Trevor a crumb. He loved that biscuit. That never... They didn't go together. A bundle of wires came into the engine bay from the dashboard. Many of the wires seemed to lead nowhere. It was the van's engine. The large dumpster was full of garbage. Nico?
What's up?
So, we need a plan.
I think we should talk to Mr. Hobbs. He's working with Matovsky, and he seems to know a lot about the painting.
It was Hobbs's mailbox. There was a note hanging out. For a second, I debated the morality of mail snooping. It was a short debate, and I won. I decided to open the letter. Dear Mr. Hobbs, due to previous incidents, we are writing to inform you that we will no longer be sending models to your address. It went on to discuss Hobbs's temper and other alleged infractions, some of which still carry the death sentence in certain less sophisticated cultures. Interesting. This could come in useful. I don't think there's anyone home.
There's a light on upstairs.
Climbing drain pipes was something I preferred to avoid, unless I had a great reason to do so. There was definitely someone home. The large dumpster was... The door was... Looking through the window, not a sound. The horn wasn't working. I'd need the key. I had no reason. I decided to leave the hand. If only I'd hung out with the cool kids at school, I'd have learned how to hotwire a truck. The engine bay was a mess. It was clear why the horn hadn't made a noise. Neither horn pipe was connected to either the battery or the cab. A bundle of wires came into the engine bay from the... A loose wire hung from... That was... A bundle of short, severed wires was connected to the battery. It was one of two horns in the van. It didn't seem to be connected to anything else under the hood. Two wires hung loose from it. I needed a... That wouldn't... That was... That wasn't... That was... That... That... Nope, I need... A loose wire hung from the left-hand horn. If I had some spare cable, I could connect it to the wires from the cab. Piles of junk, mostly boxes of old paints and scraps of picture frames. Mixed in were wires, cardboard, and some dubious-looking old clothes. George Stobart.
Ah, Monsieur Stobart. I trust you have obeyed my instructions not to leave Paris.
Of course, Inspector.
Good. You clearly know which side your cookie is buttered. Now, I require your presence tomorrow at the murder scene for a reconstruction.
I see.
12 o'clock sharp, monsieur. Or, as you would say, high noon.
Sure.
Any failure to comply, and I shall have you extraordinarily rendered. Have a nice day now.
And you. That was Nave. We're required back at the gallery tomorrow for a crime scene reconstruction.
Let me guess. Non-attendance is a criminal offense?
You got it. I had found just what I needed. 2 lengths of wire. Not a snowball's chance. I connected the wires from the cab to the horn. A loose wire. The horn wasn't. I used the wire to. A loose wire hung from the horn. If I had some spare cable, I could connect it to the other horn. A loose wire. The horn. A loose wire hung from the right-hand horn. A loose wire hung from the horn. A loose wire hung from the left-hand horn. A bundle of wires came into the engine bay from the dashboard. It was the van's engine. A bundle of short, severed wires was connected to the battery. I connected the wires from the cab to the horn. It was the van battery. I needed to hook this up to the horn somehow. I used the wire to join the battery to the horn. It was the van battery. A bundle of short, severed wires was connected to the battery. A loose wire hung. A loose wire hung from the horn. That wouldn't have... The horn wasn't working. A pile of paint. I snipped the wire. That... I'd already cut one. The wire was just long enough to connect. I connected the wires from the cat. Everything was wired up. I figured that should get Hobbs' attention.
All right, hold your blooming horses. What are you up to with my van?
Hello there. We fixed your horn.
So I hear. Now what are you doing in my yard?
Mr. Hobbs, do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Yes, you will answer a few questions?
Yes, I do mind. Clear?
Not really.
Good. Now get lost.
Well, that could have gone better.
He's not exactly the friendliest of characters.
I decided to give it another blast.
For crying out loud, will you leave my van alone?
Sorry, just need a quick word, Mr. Hobbs. Hello there. We'd like to discuss some restoration work with you.
Then make an appointment. I'm busy.
This Hobbs guy doesn't exactly like visitors.
There must be some angle we can use to talk our way inside.
I decided to give...
You two again?
Afternoon, Mr. Hobbs. We're from the model agency.
About blooming time. I'm on a deadline. You better come up. About time you two showed up.
Hello, Mr. Hobbs. I was just wondering if...
Can it, Goldilocks? I don't have time for chit-chat. Just get undressed behind that screen.
Undressed?
That was the deal. An extra 20 quid because I need you with your kit off.
The studio was freezing.
And as for you, darling, no need to get undressed. I've got a vivid imagination, so I'll just use that. Either way, just go sit over there on that rug and give me your best belly-pock floozy. That's perfect. Just hold it there.
Nico made for a good distraction. I just needed to figure out how to get a look inside that portfolio.
Oh, you! Get down from there. It's private.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. I had no need to. Excuse me.
Oh, what do you want? You're supposed to be sprawled naked on that rug with the family jewels out.
Yeah, well, about that. Could I just ask you a couple of questions first?
Blow me. A model who's shy and chatty. It must be my birthday.
I hear you did the restoration of that painting that got stolen recently in Paris?
I might have. It's a fine piece. You can smell the pain in every brushstroke.
But I thought you were a restorer, but you're working on this painting from scratch.
Well, yeah. Look, some clients want a painting that they don't own, restored from scratch, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Don't worry, sunshine. Ignorance is bliss.
Showing that to Hobbs was... I have a letter for you, Mr. Hobbs.
From the model agent. Bane in my life, models. Speaking of which, why have you still got your clothes on?
Showing that to Hobbs... It's a little musty in here. Do you mind if I spray some of this around?
Brett! Good Lord, man! Put it away! It'll strip the paint off me canvas!
Showing that to Hobbs was... He wouldn't want... Cookie, Mr. Hobbs?
Oh, don't mind if I do. Rich tea. No bourbons?
Afraid not.
Jammy Dodgers?
Sorry.
Stroopwafel?
No, it's just the way I walk. Mr. Hobbs, meet Trevor.
Who's Trevor?
My cockroach. Take a look.
Difficult childhood, eh? Well, don't take it out on me.
Showing that to Hobbs. Showing that to Hobbs. How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Thanks, but I've already got a glassful. Hey, I'm still drinking that.
A variety of liquor bottles, all empty. Excuse me.
What now?
Do you know a Russian called Medovsky?
You know Medovsky?
Everyone in the London art scene knows Medovsky.
And everyone in the London art scene who likes their kneecaps knows when to keep their trap shut.
Excuse me.
What?
Yeah, about this naked, sprawling...
Oh, what's up? Afraid of the shrinking effects of a cold warehouse?
No, it's just...
First time? A little embarrassed? Well, if it helps, we can all get naked.
No, definitely not.
Well then, what are you waiting for? Let the monkey see the nuts.
We had a saying in the Stobart family. If a job's worth doing, then do it with your pants on. I'll let you get back.
You're too kind.
It was a shaky old elevator that would once have lifted goods between the floors. Wow, an old Bofson Wang stereo. I hadn't seen one of those for years. Hobbs seemed to have a thing for 70s psychedelic jams. Burroughs, Dick, Rand. Hobbs liked his literature heavy and paranoid. The record had stopped. It was Jasmine Breeze by the Hairy Lobsters. The stereo was switched off, adjusting the... I turned the volume. A record was spinning. I turned the volume up a few. Excuse me. What now?
My, if it isn't George Stobart.
Lady Piermont. Oh, my. You're...
Naked? Of course. As an artist's muse, one often finds oneself en pelotas. Now, George, don't be shy. Come here and give me a big hug.
That day was the day the nightmares had begun. Trapped, smothered, choking on lavender.
George, darling, pass me my robe. It's terribly cold in here.
Oi, what are you doing with a blooming robe on? God help me, but you're supposed to be naked.
I've got a deadline to meet.
Well, you won't be meeting any deadlines with manners like that. And besides, it's freezing in here.
Lady Piermont and I had met before. She was larger than life, in every way. I turned the volume down. Lady Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
I'll see what I can do. So how are we going to get a peek inside that folder?
Perhaps your lady friend over there could help.
Lady Piermont? Well, she has many, assets, but subtlety isn't one of them.
Who said anything about subtlety? We need to distract Hobbs, and she's certainly distracting. No, excuse me, but you're casting a shadow.
Hi, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to take a look at some of your pictures. You're very good.
I know, and that portfolio is private. I'm not paying you to gawp around my studio. Get your blooming clothes off!
Sorry. Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against exploring behind the screen.
George, sweetheart, could you do something about the heating in this place?
I wasn't going to mess around. I didn't need to sit.
Hey! Leave that dial alone.
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
Look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Oh, crumbs.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. They won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
I turned the thermostat up as far as it would go. I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage. I wasn't going to mess...
Oi, Yank! I can hear you on those stairs again. Get down!
Sorry. If I was going to take a look up there, I'd... I turned the volume up. It was locked. I wondered what was...
Oh, you! Get down from there. You'll trip the power in the whole building if you're not careful.
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted him, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole system. I'd better not touch the... I wasn't gonna... That was... Nope.
Would you like a sniff of this?
I'd rather not. Gives me 70s flashback.
How about a shot of this, Lady Piermont?
Oh, no, dear. I don't touch this. Reminds me of husband number 5. Or was it 6? Terrible bore, anyway. I'm strictly a gin girl. Ice and a slice and a whiff of tonic.
Could I tempt you with a cookie, Lady Piermont?
You could tempt me with many things, George. But a half-eaten rich tea is not one of them.
Can I introduce you?
A cockroach. How delightful. I find that entomology is so stimulating.
What do you think of this, Lady Piermont?
Not much, George.
What do you think of this, Lady?
Not much.
What do you think of this?
Not much.
A word, if I may, Lady.
for you, George.
How did you come to be working with Mr. Haas?
Wheresoever a bohemian needs a helping hand, George, mine is always at the ready. And what better way to help than to expose one's flesh to the sensuous brushstrokes of such a talent?
Do you know anything about a stolen painting called La Malediction?
Oh, is this another of your adventures, George? How delicious. My heart's a tremor, George. Do you think Wilf is mixed up with this?
Maybe, but I need you to act normally until we're sure.
Mum's the word, Georgie.
That's all for now. I turned to her. A word. So what have you been up to since our last encounter, Lady Piermont?
Charity work, dear boy.
Oh, any particular kind?
Young men, George. So many have lost their way. I try to guide them best I can.
Lady Piermont, we need your help.
How thrilling! What do you need? Subterfuge? Leisure domain?
Actually, I just need you to step onto that lift behind you.
Oh. Is this good?
Lady Piermont was poised. I turned the volume up a...
Oh, not again.
I was too late to catch a look at the portfolio.
Oh, not again.
I was too late. I didn't need to sit. That would... Lady Piermont was a good sport to ride that river. It was a lot.
Oh, not.
I was too late. Excuse me. How long have you been using Lady Piermont as a model?
Using her? I can't get rid of her.
How about another whiskey?
Oh, not mind if I do.
I didn't need to sit.
Oh, not again.
I was too late.
This is going to be one of those days.
A straw had broken the camel's back. Hobbs was very drunk. Excuse me, ma'am.
Hold your horses, will you? We could chat in the pub.
Hobbs. Now was my chance. It was one of Hobbs' sketches. More of Hobbs' sketches. The model looked familiar. Impressionist sketches. Well, it wasn't La Maledictio, but it did appear to be a study for an element of the painting, the Ouroboros. There was something different about the image in the center. I figured the sketch might come in handy, so I took it.
What the heck are you doing with those? They're private papers.
Huh?
Well, that was fun. Just like when you were a private Dick, George.
No, Mr. Hobbs.
Well, you can't be a copper. You're not stupid enough. So what the blazes are you doing in my studio?
We're investigating the theft of La Maledictio.
I told you I just restored it. That's what I do. Restore paintings.
And these sketches?
Studies done during the restoration. Nothing more. I've got naught to do with what happened after that painting left this studio. How was I to know it was going to get Henri killed?
Hang on a second. How do you know Henri's dead?
Look, he and I went back a long way. Le Lézard Bleu was on the ropes, so I got the painting into his exhibition. Nothing like this was supposed to happen.
We're not accusing you of anything, Mr. Hobbs. We just want to get to the bottom of this.
I get that, and I'll help you however I can, but this mess is way above my pay grade.
How come you needed to make so many sketches of the painting to restore it?
Restoration's not about throwing a load of paint around. It takes research. The Serpent is a complicated painting. A lot of subtext, a lot of symbols.
Why would anyone want to steal La Maledictio? It's not exactly a famous painting.
True, but there is something special about it that's hard to describe. There's conviction in every brushstroke. Whoever El Serp was, he had a tale to tell. The symbolism is deeply religious.
We have reason to believe that Madovsky is mixed up in the theft of La Maledictio.
Eh? What would he gain from stealing his own painting?
We have strong evidence that Medovsky is not the real owner.
You'll have a hard time proving that. Medovsky has a full set of provenances for the painting. It traces its legitimate ownership all the way back to the painter.
Why didn't Medovsky mention it?
Because they're not with him. Henri's got them. Or had them.
And Henri is dead.
So ask his partner.
Lane?
Lane, yeah, Lane. Look, pal, you're wasting your time looking for conspiracies here. And you're wasting my time if you're not actually going to get naked. Go get the provenance from Lane, and everything will turn out hunky-dory.
But it also puts Marquez's story into question.
Not my problem, darling. Now both of you, get lost. I've got a painting to finish.
And we have a critic to interrogate.
Someone's lying, but who?
Is it the gangster or the old Spaniard?
The painter or the art critic?
I need to head back for Nave's reconstruction.
What about the evidence from Medovsky's house? Will you give it to Nave?
I think I should. And I can put the squeeze on Lane. Ask him about the provenance.
Good. I've got lunch with Ronnie tomorrow. This story is hotting up, and I want to make sure he keeps me on it.
Taxi? I arrived back at the shopping arcade. The Vera's shutters were down again. The police had probably cleared it out. Hey, Bassam, how's business?
Good to see you, George. Gotta say, the new branding's hitting the demographic right between the eyes.
Sold anything?
This is a soft market, George. Look to the margins. Look to the margins.
What's your latest bargain?
Bargain? I prefer the word incentivizer, George. Look at the store. Something for everyone, and everything for someone.
I didn't think there was... I was... Do you like whiskey? I'm afraid it's a cheap brand.
No.
I didn't... I've got to pay.
Very useful, I'm sure.
Thank you. It was good to be back in Rue Jarry.
Ah, a customer. Oh, it's you.
Fleur?
Come in, come in.
Last time I met Fleur, she was selling flowers from a street stall. Things had clearly gone very well for her since then. It was a small trolley. Fleur's classics were blaring out into the street. Hi, Fleur.
Georges, welcome. The young lady you're looking for is not at home.
How did you...
No, I have the gift.
Did Nico tell you I might be stopping by?
No, but I was expecting you nonetheless.
Fleur was the best and probably the only psychic florist in Paris. So, the young woman I'm looking for...
Nico lives next door.
Yeah, she's not in?
No, I believe she has gone out.
Did the tea leaves tell you that?
No,
I saw a leave.
So, Fleur,
I'm fine, thank you, Georges. Though truth be told, my hip has been playing up. And I have a funny feeling...
but apart from that,
No.
can you tell me anything?
It's cheap, smells bad, and belongs to a man.
Gee, thanks. Do these sketches...
Take them away, Georges. They have the taint of death on them.
Are you serious?
I mean it. Take them away.
Anything you can tell me about this whiskey bottle?
Not a spirit world I'm familiar.
Can you tell me...
I could, but then you'd know as much as me.
And?
I can't give away.
Does this shred...
I'm getting the word.
What can you tell...
It's going to become redundant in a digital world.
Is this rich tea cookie?
It's seen better days.
Are you getting any vibes?
No.
What can you tell...
With these, you can create fire.
I have this matchbox. Anything peculiar about it?
It has a cockroach inside.
Yeah. He's called Trevor.
He prefers the name Boris, you know.
Well, I think you'll find that's his patronymic. Can you read my palm?
Georges, please. That is ridiculous. Give me a lock of your hair and a toenail clipping. Then we can talk.
I'll pass, thanks.
Suit yourself.
Bye for now. I was back at Bijou's apartment.
Yes?
Bijou, this is George...
Basui?
Fortunately, Lane wasn't there. I wondered if Bijou could tell me anything new.
Georges, good to see you. Hello again, Georges. You neglected me yesterday, you naughty boy.
I was in London.
Oh, how exciting.
Maybe another time. I figured Bijou had had enough. I didn't... She probably... Henri looks very peaceful.
Doesn't he? I wish I could keep him here forever.
Did you say you had nothing to...
I did, darling. I don't do paperwork.
I'm guessing you've had a few drinks since hearing...
Oh, just a little dry shit to make the nightmare.
Do you know the...
I had nothing.
Is that a painting of you?
Yes, darling. Though obviously.
Who painted it?
Oh, some acquaintance.
You said you didn't recall who painted that picture.
You know how it is. So many artists.
Wasn't it Wilfred Hobbs who painted this one?
Might have been. I don't recall him. Do you mind if we talk about it?
Quite unusual these days to bring the coffin home.
Henri loved a good wake. Said they were better.
Huh. He was taken before his...
Yes,
Is there anything else?
not really.
So the...
I'd rather not.
I didn't think... Goodbye. The stereo was playing the same tune over and over again. Here I was again at the crime scene, inside the gallery. Now they preparing for the... Hi.
Monsieur,
What do you think of this?
if you wanted to tip me, monsieur, you could at least pay me in euros. Or better still, franc.
What can you tell me?
I am afraid that I know nothing.
He wouldn't... Whiskey?
You offer me cock of the glen, monsieur? Have you no shame?
I'll take a coffee.
I don't think.
What?
The coffee you desire, monsieur, is not served here.
Well, how do you know what coffee I desire?
Because I look into your eyes, monsieur, into your very soul, and I see.
Is that right? So what exactly do you see?
I see a tall glass of milky macchiato, sprinkled with chocolat, with a long spoon, and a biscuit on the side.
Wow. That's exactly what I want.
And it is precisely what you will not get. In my café, monsieur, I serve only café noir in teeny cups.
You know what? Suddenly I'm not thirsty anymore. So nobody else was here at all?
No, monsieur. I think the police tape is putting my customers off.
The waiter wouldn't... What do you think...
It makes me feel strange. My mother used to wear it.
Your mother? But it's for men.
It was the 60s, monsieur, when girls were like boys, were like girls.
The waiter... I was... Rich tea cookie?
Ah, the biscuit that dare not speak its name. Save it for your English friends, monsieur.
That was all... Nico and I had a good idea who the killer was. Now all we had to do was persuade Navet.
Sir, I already tried starting it up. I think it's broken.
Nonsense, Moo. This machine has the power of 10 investigators.
But investigators never fail to start up, sir.
Your pessimism is duly noted, Moo. But have faith. This machine will analyze the scene, compute the data, and deduce everything for... The location of the second shooter will be a... One moment.
A marvel...
Your pessimism has obviously infected... Let me think for a moment.
If I could just...
Shh!
Eh bien, Moo, now try realigning the laser matrix.
Sir, I have no idea what that is.
Move over, Moo. Now, let me see. Oscillating reverberator? Check. Refraction spectrometer? Check. Now, what can I do? Ah, Monsieur Stobart, it's only you. Glad you could finally make it.
Inspector, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Oh, yes? I shall be the judge of that.
I think I know who the killer is.
Really?
Yep, he's a gardener called Shears living in London.
Fascinating. And the good news?
We don't need to do your reconstruction.
You joke with me, Monsieur Stobart.
It's not a joke. This guy Shears was working for a Russian ex-mobster. It's all part of a highly complex fraud.
Gardeners, KGB, fraud. You are a fantasist, monsieur. And I have no time for fantasy. Reality is my suitcase, as you Americans say. Now, stand over there and keep out of trouble until the others arrive.
Well, who are we waiting for?
Mademoiselle Collard and Father Simeon. Please, I am very busy. Ah, Moo, a clever choice. But no cigar for you. Try the red.
Mon Dieu!
Lane.
Stobart.
Okay, thanks. I didn't want to waste time talking about everything. Can I ask you?
If you.
What's the deal with that device over there?
It's a farce. They've been trying to get it working for hours.
Looks like something out of a 50s sci-fi movie.
It probably is.
What do you think of Nave?
The man is a buffoon. I have better things to do than wait for these idiots to get their forensic whatnot to work. The only silver lining is that Nave seems more annoyed than I am.
I gather you're the man to ask about the provenance for the painting.
For La Maledictio? Well, you have been busy, haven't you, Stobart?
I'd like to see it.
So speak to Bijou. She took care of the business side of the gallery. The provenance is in the office safe. She has the key.
Lane was a pushover when you had him cornered. Though it looked like Bijou hadn't been completely honest with me after all. I needed to pay her another visit. What do you think of Moo?
Who?
The policeman with Nave.
I assume he's another idiot.
Why's that?
I believe one can tell a man by the company he keeps.
I'll bear that in mind, Mr. Lane. Okay.
Sir, I think we are ready.
Yes, Moo, I was just about to say the same thing. Do it. Moo, what have you done?
Pardon?
This is no time for blame. You have broken the machine.
Mon Dieu.
Monsieur Stobart, please.
That was where La Maledictio... Excuse me.
Please, monsieur.
Inspector Nave, may I...
You must wait, monsieur.
Sure. It was pointless trying to get a closer look at the machine while Nave and...
Stupid. Monsieur Stobart, you will not leave until this is over. Understood?
But I just need to...
This is a reconstruction. You will remain here.
Okay. I considered making a run for it, but forcing Moo to chase me would have been cruel. And it would have been silly to risk my investment. Better to play along with Nave and get the reconstruction. I didn't need to call. Vera's security had disconnected the... Mr. Rickenbacker? The artist restoring the painting claims there's a provenance that proves Medovsky is the owner.
Why do I sense some doubt here?
Take one guess who signed off on it.
I give up.
Hector Lane, the art critic responsible for the exhibition.
Oh, this gets better and better. Go and speak to Lane. Get a look-see at that provenance yourself.
I spoke with Lane. He says the provenance for the painting is in the gallery safe.
Good work, Stobart.
Apparently, Bijou has the key, though when I talked to her earlier, she said she wasn't involved with the gallery.
You need to take a look at that provenance.
I'm going to go find out why she lied.
Get round there, Stobart. See if you can get the key to the safe, too.
Can I ask?
If you...
Okay. The poster looked old. Inspector now. What seems to be the problem?
Monsieur Stobart, if Paris' finest cannot get this very expensive and very complex machine to work, then I doubt if an insurance salesman can.
I'm an insurance assessor, actually.
Oh, I see. Well, la-di-da to you, monsieur.
Oh, yeah? Well, la-di-da to you back.
Whatever. You are neither qualified nor clever enough to operate such an instrument.
Like us.
What was that, Moo?
I said, unlike us, sir.
Have you been a detective long?
Long enough, monsieur?
You've solved a lot of crimes, I guess.
More than you have had hot dinners?
Well, I've had a lot of hot dinners, Inspector.
Oh, yes? How many?
What?
Precisely how many hot dinners have you had, monsieur?
I don't know. Thousands?
You prove my point for me, monsieur. Precision and accuracy are everything.
You truly are a unique and amazing man, Inspector Nave.
Oh, I'm glad you are impressed.
I was sure I could get the machine to work if I could just get... It was pointless. Excuse me.
Not now.
I had to hurry up and get out of there, not waste time. It was better not to try to... The security cameras... The bust stared hard. The poster looked old. I was going to talk about that, but then I remembered... Can I...
If you...
Okay, thanks.
Monsieur Stobart, please, can you stop trying to leave?
I guess that told me. Inspector Nave. Maybe if I just have a quick... perhaps you just can't see the wood for the trees.
How ridiculous. Everybody knows trees are made out of wood.
I mean, you might just not be able to see what is obvious.
What is obvious, Monsieur Stobart, is that I am not stupid.
Nor are you made of wood, Inspector.
Exactly. Now...
You must be the top dog.
Yes, I am the top dog.
How about Top Banana? You the top banana, too?
Kindly cease your babble, and let me concentrate.
Just asking.
Monsieur Stobart, if you continue to hassle me, I will arrest you where you stand.
I decided to drop it for now. Inspector Nave. Can I just...
Go away!
Inspector Nave. Can I just...
Go away!
They didn't... I only had a few matches. Well, that didn't. I had to hurry up and get... Excuse me.
Not now.
It was pointless trying to get a closer look at the machine while Navet and Moo were tinkering with it. Nave's machine was plugged in. Inspector Nave. I know this sounds obvious, but are you sure it's plugged in?
Monsieur Stobart, do you really think I would be so stupid as to not check the fundamentals?
We all make mistakes.
What a ridiculous generalization, monsieur. Look, I can see from here it's... Ah.
Do you need assistance, sir?
Very funny, Mo.
One moment.
That got rid of him. Now is my chance. I was going to have to figure that out quickly. Time to get the show on the road.
See, Moo? I knew I would get it working.
I'm not sure that you...
Precisely. You knew my superior intellect would win through in the end.
Yes, sir. Sir, I beg your pardon, but I think there is a teeny snag.
Go on.
We have no victim.
Good God, Moo. Are you suggesting I kill someone for the sake of this reenactment?
No, sir. Just saying we need a body, sir.
Ah, yes. I see. You'll make a detective yet, Moo. I, of course, foresaw this, and I nominate you.
Me? Well, I'm not dead.
Have you ever acted, Monsieur Stobart?
Well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I went down a storm playing the lead in Cat on a Felt-Tip Roof last summer.
You played the cat?
No.
So, not the lead. Half-truths again, monsieur. Nevertheless, here is your chance to play a real lead role.
But he looks nothing like the victim, sir.
Oh, damn it, Moo. Must you find problems all the time? Let me think of a way to make this work.
Relying on Nave's problem-solving skills could mean a long, long wait. I had to find something to make me more like Henri. I'll have a look around. Maybe I'll find something.
Yes, you do that. Verisimilitude is the key, Stobart. Ah, you have arrived at last. Please, make yourselves comfortable. We are just making some last-minute adjustments.
Father Simeon, Nico.
Hi, George.
Welcome to the asylum.
Let me guess. Nave is overjoyed we've solved the case and he's putting us up for an award.
Not quite. I told him about Shears and Medovsky. He says it's fantasy.
But that's crazy.
Tell me about it.
So what do we do now?
Carry on anyway, and nail Medovsky.
What about Nave?
Ignore him.
And this charade?
The reconstruction? Well, sooner it starts, sooner it's over.
George, what on earth is that machine?
It's Nave's baby. Supposedly, it's going to analyze the crime scene and tell us what happened.
But we already know what happened.
Sure we do. But Nave doesn't.
Quiet, please! How can I concentrate with all this racket going on?
Lane was right. Nave was an idiot. Hello, Father.
Mr. Stobart, will this take long?
I'm not sure. Nave appears to be struggling with the machine.
I'll pray for some divine intervention, then.
If you think that'll help.
The Lord is always listening, George.
Hello, Father.
Mr. Stobart.
There was no point making... The poster looked... Can I ask you something else?
If you...
Okay, thanks. Moo was standing at attention, waiting for Nave's orders. Now that the machine is fixed, can we talk? You got any idea how I can be more like Henri?
You mean apart from being dead?
Well, ideally, yeah.
Monsieur Stobart, must I hold your hands at every turn? Figure it out, Mr. Insurance Assessor.
Can I just...
Go!
I'd already fixed the machine. regret, the fragrance that dare not speak its name. The bus. That was an empty plug socket. I decided to leave. The machine had been fixed, and I didn't want to. They didn't. It didn't. The best place to find Henri's things. It was a battered. The CCTV camera watched over the gallery, though it. I opened the compartment. It was a statue of. That would be. Nico was standing right there. Henri's guitar. Poor man would never play it again. Some of the stuff must have been collecting. There was certainly nothing of any. Some of the stuff must. The desk was covered with, and none of it was of any. The phone was vintage. It was a lava lamp. Henri's notice board was a 1600cc. The poster was for the 1975 Stockholm. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The calendar looked like a child's school project. It was a battered. That was. Nope. The desk was, and none of it was. I still needed to find something to make me look more like a. It was a statue of a strategically placed fig leaf protected his. On the head of the statue was a pair. Maybe, just maybe, the glasses would make me look like Henri. I found these glasses of Henri's.
Stole or found? Never mind. That might just do it. Come on, everyone, into position. I want everyone to stand precisely where they were when the victim died.
This process is ridiculous.
God moves in mysterious ways, Father.
Indeed. And the devil makes work for idle hands, Mr. Stobart.
Shh! Stobart, you are supposed to be dead. Please be dead more quietly.
I tried to tell Navet the truth about his bloodstain.
Didn't he believe you? You're a man of God.
His faith is in science, Mr. Stobart, not God.
Father?
Yes, my son.
Monsieur Stubble,
Yes, Inspector?
you are fiddling.
I just wanted to show Father Simeon.
Well, don't. You are supposed to be dead. The dead do not move. They do not talk. And they certainly do not fiddle. So, please, stay in character. Important science is occurring.
Nave wasn't going to let me show the priest anything, but that wouldn't stop me talking to him. Do you think Inspector Nave will ever figure this out?
I'm not sure, although I'm no expert.
Yeah, neither is he by the looks of it. Last time we met, you said the stolen painting was evil.
Let me explain. I'm a Dominican, Mr. Stobart. The Dominican order was founded to seek out and destroy heresy.
Why?
Because heresy is evil.
Okay.
For 1,000 years we have fought against heresy. Indeed, our enemies gave us a nickname, the Hounds of God. Dominicanis, Dominican, you see?
Very clever.
Now this painting, the Benedictio, is without doubt heretical.
Whoa, hold on. How can a painting be heretical?
Because it is filled with Gnostic imagery. And Gnostics are heretics.
What kind of imagery?
Evil imagery. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. Images of false saints, heretical saints.
So you think the painting itself is evil?
It trails murder in its wake, Mr. Stobart.
And murder is police work, monsieur. Silence, please, both of you.
You keep talking about the Gnostics. Who are they?
They are a cult, a warped branch of Christianity that reveres Lucifer as equal to, or perhaps greater than, God.
I can see how that might trouble the Vatican.
The Vatican is the least of your worries. Please be quiet!
Do you think the machine will give the inspector some insight into Henri's murder?
He will find the answers he seeks, but he asks the wrong questions. This was no ordinary murder.
The Ouroboros, what exactly is it?
It is a Gnostic symbol. It marks something that is hidden. There are trees illustrated within the Ouroboros. They symbolize knowledge. So the Ouroboros alludes to hidden knowledge. The painting must be destroyed to stop this knowledge being revealed.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first set of results completed. Only 36 more to do. Please remain in position while we reset the machine. You may relax and talk amongst yourselves.
Who are these false saints?
Gnostic saints, not beatified by the Church. They question orthodoxy, lure the unwary down dark paths of forbidden knowledge, and condemn innocent souls to the fires of damnation.
You mean like a Black Sabbath album?
Vade retro satana.
What's the matter?
It is worse than I thought.
What is it? It's just a sketch.
Not just a sketch. The painting.
I wondered if it was something I'd said.
I have to get out of here. Now.
Father Simeon, I forbid you to leave. This is an official investigation.
Don't you understand? A great evil is upon us. The painting is evil. The heretical Gnostics in league with the devil himself.
The devil?
Don't you understand? The tabula veritatis, the tablet of truth. It is real.
Well, someone is upset. Pressing your witnesses a little too hard, Inspector Nave?
And you are? This is official police business?
Richard Langham, Interpol, serious art theft. We spoke on the phone, Inspector?
Ah, yes, sir. You didn't say you would be attending my crime scene.
What exactly is this machine, Inspector?
A little invention of mine, Monsieur Langham. It will compute whose blood this is on the floor, and...
Not to worry, Inspector. Perhaps you could move aside? I'm intrigued to see what you're up to.
Ah, of course. It is rather groundbreaking.
Pizza box. It looks like your suspect was a Hawaiian, Inspector.
A Hawaiian? Mon Dieu! Mo! Get on to the Hawaiian embassy straight away. There is a surf killer on the loose. Alert the airports and the surf shops.
Sorry, Inspector. I mean, Hawaiian pizza. Your bloodstain is a pizza sauce.
Pizza? Mo! You fool! Forget the surf shops. Get on to the Italian embassy. This has Mafia written all over it.
Nah, Inspector, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to your witnesses. And in the meantime, perhaps you should try and get your priest back. Madame Collard, Mr. Stobart, I assume. Can I buy you chaps a coffee?
Langham sounded a little more on the ball. Maybe he'd bring a dose of common sense to the case.
So, Inspector Nave brought me up to speed and told me about you guys.
I can guess what he said. But what's your interest in the robbery?
I've been tracking a gang of art thieves for some time, and this looked like a good lead. But Nave is worse than useless. I was hoping you might be able to help.
We're flattered.
Just doing our jobs.
We all are, or at least trying to. So, maybe we can help each other. I gather you insured the exhibition.
That's right, and we're liable to lose a packet.
Any leads so far?
Maybe. There's a Russian guy called Madovsky who turns out to be the owner of the painting.
Madovsky?
You know him?
Oligarch, oil, art, aluminium. Ex-KGB. Very nasty. You need to be careful. Madovsky's dangerous. He kills anyone who gets in his way.
For a cop, Langham seemed okay. Trouble with doing deals with cops, there's usually a payback down the line. But I figured that'd be a price worth paying to bring down Madovsky. We found evidence that links Madovsky to the company that installed the security at the gallery.
Interesting.
And one of his men, a guy called Shears, was in Paris on the day of the robbery.
Really?
We also found a letter from someone called Gainan wanting to buy the painting from Madovsky.
Gainan? The name rings a bell? Did you find anything else about him?
No, we were in a hurry.
What about the priest?
Ah, the good Father Simeon. Well, something spooked him, that's for sure.
So I gather.
He kept saying La Maledizione was evil.
Perhaps he's right. It certainly caused evil, hasn't it? I'll take leads from anyone, Mr. Stobart, even a crazy priest. Let's keep in touch. Thank you for your help. Coffee's on me, or rather, on Interpol. Miss Collard, Mr. Stobart.
So, George, what do you think?
Interesting. He seems to be on top of things.
I agree.
You know, Nico, this could start getting dangerous.
You think Langham's right about Madovsky?
Well, he appears to be on the ball.
I thought he was cute.
He was English, Nico. They're all cute to you.
Hidden depths, too.
Oh, yeah? What about my hidden depths?
You showed me those long ago, Georges. Well, I'm off home to write up the story so far. You?
I need to pay Bijou another visit. She's not been completely honest with me.